And hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So today I got a few questions on my last video about HTML5, and we're getting started with it. If you haven't seen that video, click that thingy right up there, if I remember to put it there. And okay, let's begin guys. First question. It sounds like you describe HTML5 as an add-on to HTML. It isn't. HTML5 is a version 5 of HTML. What you probably think of HTML is version 4 of HTML. Everyone should be using HTML5 at this point. Okay, what I meant like here is I learned from where I started coding with. I started with HTML. They told me it's the basics, so I tried to teach you the basics of HTML. Then they taught me HTML5, which on the end of the day taught me that one. They told me that was advanced. It's like I went through like 3 apps with it. I have 2 certificates showing that I have it, and with both of those apps, they both made HTML5 more advanced and HTML just basics. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to teach you HTML and then HTML5, so that you can first get the basics in, and after you get that basic things in, you can start going to HTML5, which will become more complicated, and because of all the structures that can come in later on and all of that. I hope you understand that now. Thank you. Next question. The omission of a doc type declaration is actually not as disastrous as you describe. Wait, what? Will be the doc type HTML. Now this is extremely important, and you must remember this. If you don't remember this, then you won't be able to do HTML5. Okay guys, this is what allows you to do HTML5. If this isn't at the top of your page, you can't do HTML5. Okay, I see what you mean. If you don't add a doc type, the browser goes into quirks mode, which is essentially compatibility mode. For most modern browsers, this won't affect things much, but since quirk mode is not standardized, your page may show up differently on different browsers. So you want a doc type to keep your page consistent across browsers, not to unlock special features. Oh well, I kind of learned that you just need to put doc type on the top of your page to declare that it is an HTML5 document and not HTML anymore. That's why you did the same thing with HTML4, where you added doc type but with a bunch of extra things, as I remember. So yeah, but it's good to know this. I didn't know this, so thank you for this little bit of info. And finally, the last question. Indentation is indeed good practice, but an A-space tab width is bordering on obnoxious. Anything even moderately nested will start flying off the right side of the editor or wrapping. To this end, I would recommend a proper coding editor like Atom, Sublime Text, or VS Code. They allow you to control the size of your tabs, as well as being smart enough to automatically indent where appropriate. Okay, now here the reason I use Notepad, which gives pressing tabs such a big space, is I don't want anyone to start using things like Atom, Sublime Text, or VS Code just yet. I want you to practice this. I want you to type it out and get it into your head before you start with things like CSS. I want you to memorize the tags. They are important to memorize. You can't always rely on something like Sublime Text and autocomplete, if you know what I mean. Yes, the tabs are a little bit annoying if they're that big, but you just gotta live with it, okay? You can't just start with something like Sublime Text from the very beginning. You're not going to learn fast like that, or you're not going to get good learning in like that. It's just too easy for beginners to get onto the wrong track with something like that. Once we start with CSS and JavaScript, we will be using things like Sublime Text because it's useful, and all that extra typing won't be necessary to remember that much as HTML. HTML is where you build on. if you don't know HTML like you should, you won't just be able to do whatever you want, because you'll first need to think like, what should I do now? I can't remember what that one tag was that I should use if I want to put things inside of each other, and you can't remember things like div, section, footer, you know, things like that. So yes, we will come to using Sublime Text because it's faster, but for now, while we're using HTML, let's just use Notepad and just work with the huge indenting we get, okay? I don't want to sound rude, it's just how I feel it's working, because that's how I learned about it. And that's all actually, guys. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video, and stay tuned for the next tutorial coming up soon. Goodbye.
To teach the